was your favorite Disney movie? I say was because most likely the Disney company influenced your child with their films. And with the kind of animated films they put out, with stories of love and happiness told through musical numbers, how honestly could you not fall in love with them? Some people have even taken this love further than just oh, I like this Disney film, I watched it when I was a kid, and take it with them into adulthood, starting these mini communities all surrounded in this one big Disney fandom, or community, you could say. I want to talk about these different communities, or a few that have caught my attention, and show that the Disney fandom is much more complex than just singing along to Frozen songs in the car with your kids. One of these is the actors from the Disneyland, Disney World locations themselves. These are characters, as they call themselves, and they train to make sure that everything about them is perfect. They have no tattoos. They know how to answer every single question. They never answer a little kid's questions with "I don't know," just to make sure that they have everything right, so that if a child goes up to them, they believe that they are in the presence of Cinderella. And on the other hand, there are the fans that don't necessarily work for the Disney company, but still put that kind of dedication into their work. The cosplayers, the people that dress up and make these costumes to become their favorite Disney characters wherever outside of Disney World and Disneyland. They kind of advertise it in their own way. And speaking of advertising, merchandise. Because of the influx of nostalgia, especially nowadays for the films of the Disney Renaissance and even before then, Disney has been able to cash in on this love of their products, and they've been able to make such interesting things as the Disney rectangle fluff creatures, if you've ever seen them on the internet, that are in the shape of Stitch or Minnie Mouse. And they've even expanded to the internet world and have been able to connect through there by people repainting their dolls or making them act out, or having Spider-Man have team up with Elsa for some reason. Just all from a love of Disney's products and Disney's characters. And Disney has always provided that kind of vibe for people, which is where Gay Days came from. The LGBT community has always found like a sort of connection to this happy, beautiful world of Disney. Even in the 20th century, it was people even referred to gay people as Mickey Mouse. You can tell because of the voice or whatever. But that ever since the 90s, gay people have flourished in the Disney community, and that's where Gay Days comes from. And it provides such a happy place for people that had been excluded from everywhere else. These people, these groups that have found such a place in Disney's world have actually continued to influence the films themselves, which is why we get remakes of Beauty and the Beast and The Jungle Book, and soon coming up, my favorite Disney movie, The Lion King. God help it. But they also make adjustments in their new films. That's why we had a Polynesian princess with Moana, and why Elsa finally said what we'd all been saying for years: you can't marry a man you just met. And as a result, because we influence the films and the films will influence us, which is why it's so important that the children nowadays that go to see these Disney movies have this kind of representation with Moana and other people like them, and hopefully with more plus size princesses and more princesses of color and the like in the future. Disney movies, the Disney world is not just about the animated films. It is a lifestyle that has impacted multiple groups of people, inspiring them to create these sub-communities. It is the foundation for a place for people to find their niche, their home. And as a result, Disney accommodates to these people and thus inspires them to become more active in this very mutual relationship that is beautiful.